Hello everyone and welcome to PhoneUX. So today I want to compare the two models, the Flip 3 and Flip 4, to see the differences, if there are any major differences or not. So I'm going to start off from the outside in, work my way from the top down and from the outside in. And so we will get started with the outside screen. So the outside screen is pretty much exactly the same size. I know Samsung put on the on their site or the specs that it's 2 instead of 1.9 inches, and visually it does not make a difference. I mean, I looked at both and they seem exactly the same to me. It's not anything that anyone's gonna notice. However, if we were to look at the screens, we will see that the outside screen, we'll see that the Flip 4 has more features or more widgets available compared to the Flip 3. And some of those are the timer for one. In the Flip 3, you only have a 10-minute timer, while the Flip 4, you can actually increment by 5 minutes, I think all the way to 25 or 30 minutes. So that is a bit of an improvement. You also have a widget for favorite contacts. I think the limit is 3, but it's still better than the 0 that's available on the Flip 3. So that's basically the biggest difference between the Flip 4 and Flip 3. I don't see why they can't just add that to the Flip 3 through a software update, but it may just be so they can sell the Flip 4 a bit easier. You also have a few extra settings that you can tap into when you scroll down. So previously it was just the brightness of the screen. Now you can actually turn off the Wi-Fi, turn on airplane mode and Bluetooth and a few other settings. So right next to the screen, part of the main screen housing, are the lenses. Now I did notice that the Flip 3 lenses are almost flush, while the Flip 4 protrudes quite a bit. So I started doing a little bit of research and I was not able to find the reason for this. So I would assume the reason for this is the larger battery. They probably needed to move the lenses up a little bit to fit in the larger battery. But besides that, there's not really much of an upgrade. The camera on the Flip 4 is a little better, but it's not anything that's gonna make you want to trade in the Flip 3 for the Flip 4. So then we're going to move down to the plates, the front plates and back plates. So the front plate, well, I got the regular ones, I didn't get the bespoke editions. So the front plate and back plate do match. And the main difference is that the Flip 3 has a glossy finish and the Flip 4 has a matte finish. So there are some benefits to the matte finish, mainly fingerprints. And also small scratches will probably be hidden a little better, but it's mainly just fingerprints. However, the edges or the borders went from the inverted, so it was matte in the Flip 3 and now it's glossy on the Flip 4. And the main reason I could probably think of for changing this is actually the glossy finish is sliding a little bit less on my fingers compared to the matte finish, so it is a little sturdier in the hands, less likely to slip out. Also, the Flip 4 went with flatter edges, so you actually have more surface area, flat surface area where you can grip it. So that is a bit of improvement there, along with the slightly smaller hinge, but it's not too noticeable. Won't really make much of a difference in either pocket or any sort of functionality, but it is a nice improvement. So now let me open up the phones and we will get to the insides. So from the top down, the first thing we're going to notice is the border, the little edges of the phone. So the border on the Flip 4 is slightly smaller. It's only visually identifiable when you're comparing it directly to the Flip 3. But so if you were to pick one up, put it down, and then pick the other one up, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. It's only when you're comparing them directly next to each other that you can really tell. However, that does mean that Samsung was able to put a bigger screen percentage to body percentage, or screen to body percentage on the Flip 4, so that looks good on paper, although not really making much of a difference. In everyday use, I was not able to notice the screen size all that much. Although when it comes to the screen quality, I do feel like it's a little bit stronger. There's less flex when you're scrolling up and down, and then also the screen is a bit sharper. It actually looks really nice, even compared to the S21 that I had. The screen on the Flip 4 is very, very crisp, very clear, and as you can see, that's probably why they went to the flatter and glossy edges here. So, all right. So then moving down, we have the camera, which is the same camera, same size. Move down further, and we get to the crease. So on the crease, it has actually gotten smaller. It's visually a little bit smaller, but when it comes to the touch, it feels a lot smaller. It feels like 50% smaller. It's less noticeable, and also when you're viewing the screen, it's also less noticeable when light hits it. It doesn't reflect as much because it has less of an angle. So it is a nice upgrade, and I did read that Samsung decided not to go with the teardrop screen, which would leave, basically no crease whatsoever. They decided not to go that route because they don't have it in a waterproof format yet, and I would say that's just good customer service. I would rather have the IP8 rating over a non-existent crease. So I think that was a good choice by Samsung. Maybe on the next generation it will be the teardrop with the water resistance. But for now, I'd rather have the water resistance than no crease. So that's a nice one. And then we move down to the bottom, basically all that's left is the charger. And the only thing that improved there was that it went from 15 to 25 watts on the wired charging. The wired charging 25 watts does make a difference, especially with the bigger battery. It charges very fast, and I am very pleased with the speeds of it, the charging speeds. Now we get to the battery, and the battery is 400 milliamps larger, 33 to 37. So that's, 400 milliamps larger, and that is plus together with the new processor, it is more efficient as well. So you're getting the bigger battery plus a more efficient processor. And I gotta tell you, it's noticeable how much extra life I have at the end of the day, how much extra battery I have. So that is a nice plus. And I use the battery protect feature, so it maxes out at 85. And I'm not gonna say I'm a power user. I'm definitely not a power user, which is why I'm okay with the Flip. I rather have the small format than ultra long battery life. But it lasts me. I think I use around 65%. On this phone, probably not even 65. I was using 65% on the Flip 3. So I don't have an issue with battery, and I'm sure if I'm careful with my phone usage, I could probably make it last 2 days, especially if I take it all the way to 100. So those are the biggest improvements. Now, would I recommend going to the Flip 4 if you have the Flip 3? And the answer to that one's going to be only if you could get a good deal. So if you're able to get like a good trade-in value like I got with mine, which is the only reason I switched, because the Flip 3 was actually working pretty well. I say yeah. So I got the Flip 4 for basically $100 after I traded my Flip 3. And in that case, yes, it's definitely worth it. Mainly the battery life, the slightly better camera, and the processor, which, besides the fact that it's actually more powerful and more battery efficient, I do feel like it stays a lot cooler than the Flip 3 does when it's processing something pretty heavy. So that is another plus. So if you are able to get a good trade-in deal, I would say maybe to upgrade, maybe $250 would be the most I would want to pay to upgrade from the Flip 3 to the Flip 4. That's definitely subjective and up to each person. So yeah, overall, I wouldn't recommend upgrading from the Flip 3 to the Flip 4 unless you get some crazy good deal. And I was happy to be able to get that deal because I am happy with the Flip 4. So from that, I hope I gave you enough information for you to make an informed choice if you are thinking about getting the Flip 4. If you enjoyed the video and thought it was helpful, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any ideas for topics for the future, for future video, please comment them or add them to the comments. And see you next time.